Yo, what it do, 2K fans? Your boy JuKIng the Boss back with another point guard build. Now, I thoroughly enjoyed this build. I wanted to make sure I created a build that had the ability to shoot really well, or better than my last build, my two-way slashing playmaker, but also still kept that same fire on defense. So I landed on a shooting and defense dominant build. I like the way this build comes out. Don't lose too many attributes in some of my other finishing categories. And as far as my playmaking, still good enough to get pro level dribble moves, which are faster than the basics. But seeing as I'm not going to be able to try out pro level dribble moves, I went on and tested this build out just like that. So when I looked at the physical profile, I needed a physical profile that had a focus on speed and acceleration, because I won't be driving as much. So now when it came down to adding the attributes, putting the attribute upgrades where I wanted them, I mainly focused on first making sure, of course, as always, as a point guard, making sure my playmaking abilities went exactly the way I want them. Now, some people are looking to see that I only get 10 playmaking badge upgrades, but if I play my cards right, I can put just the right upgrades at just the right levels and still be a good competitive build, and might even be a great competitive build, depending on which way you look at it. So the next thing was my shooting. My shooting gets me 15 badges. My defense get me 17 badges, and 81 and 80 mid-range and three-point shot. Free throws at 88, 89. Now, when it came down to what I had left with my points, I wanted to kind of see where I can put them and truly add to my flair. Now, some people sit up here and say you should add them to post. Once again, this is not a build that I'm going to play inside with. This is really a shooting build, so I wouldn't add post moves because I don't plan on adding post badges. I don't plan on utilizing it like that. So my main focus was to just add whatever I had left to my defensive rebound, and just so I can at least catch a couple of, wide rebounds without stumbling around with them. So essentially, all my builds for point guard will always be 6'4". You can tweak the height whatever you feel comfortable with. I prefer to go 6'4", mainly so that way I can get a couple of little boosts in my ability to play defense, my blocking ability, get a little bit more reach over certain players, especially if you end up getting caught in the screen and have to switch to someone at the 2. It still gives you a good chance to play some decent defense. Most shooting guards are like 6'6", 6'5", so it still gives me a good chance to play defense. And max wingspan, I lose a few points. I lose 4 points on my shooting, but I'm not really worried about losing those points because I feel confident in my shot, and once you're using your own shot, you should be all right. So the next thing I did do was, as you can see, I had 4 takeovers to choose from, and I went with lockdown. And some of you might go with, sharpshooter. Some of you might go with playmaking to get that extra boost. And then I also look at this build. I tested it out at 95 instead of 99 because out of all the builds, I like this one a little bit more than my two-way slashing playmaker if it comes down to me playing more competitive. So I wanted to make sure I tested out at 95 because I know that I'll be able to get a build to 95. And then 99 is just seeing what the potential of it is. And you can always go back and look at the badges that I chose. I'm kind of running through them a little bit, but I choose some really good shooting badges to give me an extra boost to my shots. Flexible release is always going to be a badge that I'll put on almost any build that I can get a shooting badge for, because it allows me a little window of error when I release my jump shot a little early or a little late. Gives me a little window of error. Now for my playmaking badges, I went with 6 bronze badges, 2 silver badges. Like I said, I know a lot of people sit up here and say you should probably have silver or gold ankle breaker, and as you can see, I tried it out, but because I don't have the ability to change my animations, I won't be able to see how effective it is except for maybe like fast breaks. And of course with defense, this is the first one where I gave myself a dominant defensive Hall of Fame badge. I really wanted to see what Tireless Defender was like at Hall of Fame. Now this game was a really good game, but one of the things is I learned playing this game with this build is where this build is really successful at. So first of all, I do like the fact they gave me a good shot contest, even though I didn't even jump in front of the man. I like that they gave me good shot contest because I did try to defend the shot, took it inside, and was at least able to finish with the green release. Good little setup. Caught him with a nice little step back, and I pulled up. This is a shooting build. I'm not taking them inside more often than not. I need to get to shooting with this build, but seeing as you're not creating your own jump shot just yet, you can't really, test your jump shot on the build. You got to test whatever jump shot you want to equip that is player related. But I did enjoy this build. This build does get some decent blow bys. Now, I know a lot of people might complain about blow bys and how kind of OP they are with that quick first step badge, but I did see on Twitter that Mike Wang reported that they did tweak the quick first step badge and its effectiveness. You sort of turn around and then the dish inside, the ability to create space for a shot. Now that means I might give this build the space creator. Now, like I said, these are not me telling you which builds to build, just giving you a little bit of knowledge on the builds that I came up with when I'm cooking around in the lab and showing you how these builds play, showing you how effective they are. Now this is on rookie, so we can't really judge it but so much. So far I do like the way this build plays on rookie, and once you learn the control scheme and the way the game plays and all the good stuff, I think you can play pretty well with this game on Hall of Fame, or even play really well with this game in ProAM and Park. Now I think this is a great ProAM build. I think it's a solid Park build. The only reason I say solid Park build is because Park builds usually get good the good Park animations. So you won't be able to get those really creative Park animations with this build, but you can get some solid pro animations that will allow for you to dominate and create space. And with the badges that you choose to go up there with, it's going to create even more opportunities. Now you saw me get caught with a move court reaching. I love that about the game, mainly because if you bite on a move and you bite wrong, that should be on you. That's your behind right there. You know, mama always told you, don't go outside after dark. I went outside after dark and got whooped for it. So right here you'll see another good offensive move. Watch Kyle Lowry take the screen, then hit him with a step back, because if he would have went inside, he'd have met with the big man. I love the samples that we're getting from this build. I know there's some things that are going to change when the game drop, but this particular point guard build is really good so far for playing MyCareer. Like I said, once we really get into the full version of the game, my builds, you sort of move, and then I take off. No stamina, I take off and get the finish. Show you in the replay, I lost him and his boy. They was both lost at the top at the perimeter. So the thing I like about this build is that, as you can see, you see my stamina not going anywhere, and I'm exerting energy, but because of that tireless defender badge at Hall of Fame, I didn't see that energy go anywhere, and that's really good. I love that little bit of things about it. This is a good defensive build, a great offensive build, and especially if you couple the factor that was a good defensive shot, and then watch the defense inside. These are other little things that I like that they improved upon, and I'm hoping that these don't change in the full game. I love the way that they battled inside and kept hustling on defense. So this build, one thing I truly admire about this build is once you get the chance to really put together your own animations that you like, from your different shots, from your different dribble packages that you want to choose, I think this build is going to be a great build to kind of play around with in Pro-Am, or even if you're just playing a JRC. But I think it's a good competitive build. Now, like I said, until we get the full game and are able to test it at a higher overall, higher difficulty level, I don't think we'll know for certain whether this build is just dominant. But I do like the moves. I do like the way this build feels. It's got a nice burst of speed for a build that at 6'4" caps out with an 88 acceleration and a 90 speed or 89 speed. It's a solid build, and this build goes inside and gets fouled so many times. I kid you not. I don't know if it was because I was playing on rookie, but that was another good move right there. You saw how I tried to get around the screen, and because I was so tired, I just got set up and I just couldn't make it back to my man. All of a sudden, like I said, I love this build. It's another build that I probably will check out in the full game, but when I finish going through all these build combinations that I like, I'll figure out which ones I want to try at each position. So we're not done yet. Stay tuned.